Hello, everyone. Welcome to 10 Minutes Astrology, the most simple way to learn astrology. I'm your host, Rod Chang.
I am Alejo Lopez.
Hi, Alejo.
Hi, how are you? Nice to see you again.
Yeah, nice to see you. I mean, well, once a week we bring some basic step learning of astrology, and it's become one of the things I'm really looking forward because it is good to always to go back to review
Yeah,
the basic knowledge, and it's like a step it build up the things because I think I'm not a smart person, and I have a very bad memory. I always plan. I shouldn't say that. For a professional astrologer, it's not good to say because of my Mercury in Pisces.
it's
So
good to
I
show that you're human. Come on.
but it is also like I'm not good in memory things. But it's okay for me if I keep repeat things, then I will get familiar with it, and it's like an exercise. It become like part of muscle memory.
Mm-hmm.
So the things if I keep repeat, even in my brain, when I repeat a certain thing in astrology, certain idea, it will become familiar, and then I can exercise it. I can work it out without trying to. Oh my God, what did they say about this? And this
Mm.
is very interesting because I think this is more or less related to today's subject about sixth house.
Yes,
So,
yes.
Alejo, could you tell us a little bit about sixth house?
Okay, so the sixth house is peculiar house because sometimes when I first learned about it, I felt like they're putting everything, everything that they don't know where to put, they put it here in the sixth house. So one of the main, one of the main meanings we use for the sixth house is daily life, daily work.
Mm-hmm.
But then also here we put servants. I mean, it's a bit of an old-fashioned word, but that's the way the books see
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Slaves, you could even say, perhaps. You could put here pets, small animals,
Mm-hmm.
gardening. It's like it's full of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I think it's an interesting house. But mainly, what we relate it to is the idea of work, daily
Mm-hmm.
work, your daily
Mm-hmm.
routines, and
Mm-hmm.
also the idea of health. And I think it
Mm-hmm.
has to do with the feeling that it's what you do every day that will make you
Yes.
be healthy.
Yeah. Which is very important house to be honest, because it is about the things you do and about your daily routine. It's it could be the work because for most of the people, work is big part of life. It takes at least 8 hours a day. Some people work even longer hours. But that's how we the quality and the main theme, major theme of our day to day, day in and day out life. So the planet in the sixth house and even the house cards are all going to tell you uh, what is important for you in your daily life. But
Hmm.
one thing is very interesting about most of our clients and most of the beginner will ask about. But I also heard about health in
Yes.
the sixth house. So if I have a certain planet in sixth house, does that mean I'm going to get that illness?
Ah, ta, 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 ta.
People,
That's it.
people, yeah, that is a very dangerous idea to talking. But should we just clarify a little bit?
Yes, I think it's important. Um, so in traditional astrology, like
Mm,
in horary astrology,
mm-hmm.
we define the sixth house as the house of disease.
Exactly. Yes.
And I think this has to do that when the sun is in the sixth house, it means
Mm-hmm.
that it went under the earth. He's
Yeah.
starting to die in some ways, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
it's like I think that's maybe why it was related. Well, it's one of the reasons. There are other reasons, but one of the reasons it might be related to the idea of disease. So if
Mm.
you're doing horary, if you're doing horary, it's very important that you're very strict with what
Yeah.
each house means.
Yeah.
And nowadays, the way we understand health, it's not
Mm,
just the absence of disease. The way we understand health is
mm,
different. So I think
Mm-hmm.
it makes sense to expand a little bit this meaning and to
Mm-hmm.
use the sixth house as the house of health and not
Okay.
disease. And if you
Mm-hmm.
have a planet there, I mean, there is a branch of astrology that's called medical astrology that may look
Mm-hmm.
at your chart and tell you which areas of your body
Mm-hmm.
might be more delicate and you might need to
Mm-hmm.
take more care of them. But
Mm-hmm.
of course, they're not taking just one factor, one planet in the sixth house.
No, no,
So
no.
don't do that. Don't take just one element and out of that bring a huge conclusion
Yeah,
because it's
exactly.
not good astrology. Yes.
Exactly, exactly. I think for when we focus on sixth house, there's so many things we can talk about. But in the traditional view, like you say, it's like a warehouse. Anything you don't know, oh, put it in sixth house first.
Yes.
But the most important, everyday's work, daily life, daily routine, and then about well, people thinking about the health and also the way we work because it's how your activity in every day, even you don't have a career, but you still going to have your activity in every day. So this house is pretty interesting about the real most people don't talk about it because it's not a love house, it's not about money house, it's not about success. So people just
Ah,
sometimes they just like don't really know how about this house, but it's so important because it's your day-to-day life. So to make everyone understand a little bit more, let's bring out the chart. Today
yeah.
we're still going to use Amy Winehouse.
Yes.
It'll be very
We
interesting,
love
but I think,
Amy.
yeah, no, I think, so the people, we have another singer, so this time we have Winehouse, so next time we have a choose.
Okay.
Okay, so we have Amy Winehouse, and she has interesting sixth house.
Yes, she has Jupiter. She has also Uranus,
Hmm.
but we're not going to talk about that. She has
Hmm.
Jupiter in Sagittarius in the sixth house.
Hmm. This is a well interesting combination.
Very. So with Jupiter, do you remember what Jupiter was? Jupiter was our sense of purpose. What is it that
Hmm.
makes our life purposeful?
Yeah.
Why is it that we feel like life is worth living, right?
Hmm.
And it looks
Mm.
like for Amy Winehouse, life is worth living for the little things of everyday life. Like it's like everyday life that has meaning
Mm.
for her. Is that what you
Hmm.
do every day that is important for her?
Hmm.
And because it's in Sagittarius, she may like to explore a lot, and she may be really drawn to having like a moral code or
Hmm.
like some principles in life that have to
Hmm.
do with well, what you do in life is what gives you a sense of purpose. What you do every day, and what you do
Hmm.
for work, like the work you do every day. Now, because
Hmm.
Jupiter expands, it
Hmm.
could mean that for her, everyday life has to be an expanding experience. So it
Hmm.
has to
Yeah.
be something grand. You need to do something magnificent of each
Hmm.
day.
Hmm. When you're talking about something excessive and something about grand about each day, they just make me remember the first time I saw her image with the hair, that wig, the
Yes.
huge tall wig. That's excessive, you know. Yeah, I'm not just a little girl. I'm not just tiny little singer. I am grown. I'm huge. I'm strong like my voice. Uh, this is very interesting because when you're talking about the Jupiter in the sixth house, the first word I get, because we know her life, and the first thing I get is excessive.
Yeah.
And but also the Jupiter in Sagittarius, there is the action, and there is the fun and the pleasure. But also, I think in another way is also the seeking for the wisdom and seeking for the
Mm.
more, to more transcend meaning. And it, I think another idea is about to be free.
Yes.
Yeah. So I think this type person, if you tell her or tell him what he has to do in day-to-day life, have to be 9 to 5 in her work, and have to take the I should say have to take the lot of responsibility to do responsibility for this, responsibility for that. which may be going to make them feel a little bit upset because these are all first limitation, and second, put their life in a little cage of office rather
Yeah.
than let them fly free. When I see this sixth house, I think it's like a bird want to fly free every day.
Yeah. Yeah. Very good. Yes, I agree.
Mm. So, well, I mean, we know her indeed the cause of her death was, I think, is related to alcohol, related to
Yes.
alcohol, and that binge drinking, that kind of excessive of alcohol,
Yeah,
somehow
and
could
another
also,
other drugs, I think, also not only alcohol.
yeah. So could be, could be, but there's other side of those things. But at least Jupiter is like a excessive. It's like a little bit bigger than usual, or more, much more than usual. So they like take everyday's life into the cut, not just a simple, normal, or regular, or be good
Hmm.
way about this sixth house.
Yes.
Well, it is so interesting to see her six house. I mean, talk about her still feeling the sadness about it because although she left for a long time, but I like her voice and then knowing lots about her story. And when I read this chart, I always just very quickly I can relate it to her life. But there's a problem because when we talking about this, we say we're not going to go into too deep and with a lot of detail.
Yeah.
This our audience may not understand, but it is very interesting to help us understand the sixth house, about the sixth house, about the everyday life, and also why people talking about the health and why people talking about the world. So your sixth house is about your everyday life, and your sixth house is about could be your view of health. What one thing I'm quite interesting. This is how I usually tell my students because like you say, a lot of things in the sixth house and they are not really related to each other.
It's a
So
bit of a
my
mess.
student usually, my student usually ask me, say, why? Why sixth house is about a house of a house, but also house of work and a house of a daily routine. And I say,
And the
well,
house of
I don't
pets. I mean, come on, where
house
did
of
that
pets.
come from?
Yeah, but it's quite interesting. I say, I don't know why they related in this way, but there's one thing I am sure is we are what we eat and we are what we have in the everyday's life. A healthy person, their daily life could be with a regular exercise, with the regular food or something, with a nice food, with healthy food, and that's the daily routine. They take good care of their daily routine. Imagine if someone is always with excessive things, binge drinking, or eat a lot, or not eat at all, then the health certainly going to
Yes.
be affected. And that's I didn't say it for this reason they put the daily routine and the health in the six house, but I said this is how I remember it. This is how I
Yes.
remember it. Yeah.
I agree.
Uh,
Yes.
yeah. Before we finish today, you have any news for us?
Before we want to give you an exercise for the audience.
Oh, yes. We forget it.
Yeah, last time we didn't, so we have to this time.
Okay.
So I would say try to think about what it would be to have Venus in the sixth house. What would it mean in
Mm-hmm.
relation to your daily routine, to your work, if your health, if
Ooh.
you want to? And then try to think about what it would feel like to have Saturn there to contract
Mm-hmm.
the
Mm-hmm.
Jupiter that you've seen today.
That's very interesting. A huge, strong, you know, combination. So Venus in sixth house, what is your daily life, daily routine? And the Saturn in sixth house, what will it be? That's a very different flavor in the everyday's life. And Alejo, I remember you have another talk coming soon, right?
Yes. So on the 16th of November or 15th, depending where you are in the world,
Okay.
because this is in USA time, I'm
Okay.
going to be teaching a webinar that's called Hard Aspects, the Forging of Diamonds. in which we're going to be talking about what hard aspects are in the chart and how to make profit of them. This is for Synchronicity University. So if you go to synchronicityuniversity.com, you can sign up and you get also other 4 classes. It's not just my class. And of course, I'm always open to consultations and have readings if you need to.
Yeah, well, of course, if you need a consultation, please contact Alejo. And so you can find Alejo on her Instagram, on his, why every time when I go to India, I would just like a little bit of wobbly. I'm really sorry about that. It's not very professional. Okay, you can find Alejo on his Instagram at
Liminal Cosmos.
Liminal Cosmos, and you can find me at AOA UK ROD. Well, because Alejo just remind me, I need to also announce our event too, because we have the 2023 the Pluto moving into Aquarius and the Saturn moving into Pisces is such an important change from the astrological view. So AOA UK prepared 4 different webinars. Alejo also participated, but there's one coming soon. Is on the first one would be on the 26th of November, and that's the Dr. Lee Lehman and Mandy Leclerc talking about Pluto and the power, and Dr. Lehman talking about planning the wind of change. This is the first webinar of this series. And then coming up, that would be the Lynn Bell and Fernanda and Alejo with Davi Costello, and also the Lian with the Christine Skinner. So if you are interested in this series of webinar, please contact us. You can write email to aoa@inquiry@gmail.com. Or you just leave message here, so we will reply you, okay? Next week, we are going to talk about a house. A lot of people talking about it. You
the
love
7th house.
The 7th house about?
I'm not going to tell you. You have to come next week.
Okay, then, well, very good way. Okay, well, next week, we are going to talk about 7th house. Thanks for watching 10 Minutes Astrology. If you like, please like and subscribe. And next week, please join us for 7th house. Stay in tune. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.